Most people work hard to earn money, but very few are ever taught how money actually works. In school, we learn math, history, and science, but we're rarely taught how taxes really work, how to manage income, how to build financial stability, or how to avoid constant money stress. Because of this, many people struggle financially, even if they earn a decent income. They live paycheck to paycheck. They overpay in taxes without realizing it. They rely on debt to survive, and they feel confused or overwhelmed when making money decisions. This isn't because people are bad with money. It's because they were never given clear, practical guidance. That's why understanding U.S. taxes, personal finance, and money management is so important. When you understand how taxes work, you stop being surprised at tax time and start planning ahead. When you understand personal finance, you learn how to control your cash flow instead of wondering where your money went. And when you build smart money habits, you reduce stress, avoid unnecessary debt, and create long-term stability. In this video, we'll break everything down step by step, using simple language and real-world examples. We'll cover how U.S. taxes work, how to manage your income and expenses, and how to build healthy money habits that actually stick. No jargon, no complicated formulas, just practical knowledge you can use in real life, starting today. Before we talk about saving money, investing, or paying taxes, there's one crucial thing you need to understand: how money actually flows in the U.S. system. Most people struggle with money not because they earn too little, but because they don't fully understand where their money comes from and where it goes. This lack of understanding creates stress and confusion. Money flows in a specific order. It comes in as income, then part of it is taken out through taxes, bills, or other expenses, and only what's left actually reaches your bank account. If you don't understand this flow, it's easy to feel out of control financially. Once you understand how money moves, everything else becomes easier: budgeting, saving, and even investing. This knowledge is the foundation of real financial control. Income: where your money comes from. Before we dive into saving or investing, we need to understand where money actually comes from: your income. Most people earn money through a job, either as a salary or hourly pay. Others make money through freelancing or gig work. Some run small businesses. And later in life, income can also come from investments. No matter the source, this money is called gross income, the total amount you earn before anything is taken out. It's the number you see in a job offer, a contract, or your pay rate. But here's the key point: you never actually receive your full gross income. Taxes, Social Security, and other deductions come out first. What lands in your bank account, your net income, is often much less than the gross number. Understanding this difference is crucial. It helps you plan realistically, budget effectively, and make smarter financial decisions. Think of gross income as the headline number, and net income as the money you truly get to use. The truth about your paycheck deductions. Have you ever opened your paycheck and thought, wait, why is this smaller than I expected? You're not alone. Many people feel surprised when they see their actual pay. The reason is simple: taxes and deductions. Before your money reaches you, the system automatically takes out certain amounts. These deductions happen whether you notice them or not. So even though you earn a certain amount on paper, your gross income, the money you actually receive, called net pay, is less. Deductions can include federal and state taxes, Social Security, Medicare, and benefits like health insurance or retirement contributions.
This is completely normal, but knowing about it gives you control over your finances. Understanding deductions helps you plan better, budget smarter, and avoid surprises when payday comes. Knowledge is the first step to financial control.
Paycheck breakdown. Simple example. Let's look at a simple, real-world example to understand how a paycheck actually works. Imagine you earn $4,000 per month in gross income. That's the number listed in your job offer or salary agreement. But before this money reaches your bank account, several deductions happen automatically. First, federal income tax is taken out. This goes to the U.S. government to fund things like public services and infrastructure. Next, there may be state income tax depending on where you live. Some states take a portion of your income while others don't. After that comes Social Security tax, which helps fund retirement and disability benefits. Then there's Medicare tax, which supports health care for seniors. On top of taxes, many people also have other deductions. These can include health insurance premiums, retirement contributions, or other workplace benefits. By the time all of these deductions are taken out, your take-home pay might be around $3,000, or even less. That missing $1,000 didn't disappear. It was simply taken out before the money ever reached you. This is why understanding your paycheck is so important. You don't budget based on what you earn on paper. You budget based on what actually hits your bank account. Gross versus net income, the key takeaway. This brings us to two very important terms that everyone needs to understand when managing money: gross income and net income. These two numbers may look similar on paper, but they mean very different things in real life. Gross income is the money you earn before anything is taken out. It's the number you see in your job offer, your salary agreement, or your hourly rate multiplied by hours worked. It looks big, but it's not the money you actually get to use. Net income is what's left after taxes and deductions. Net income is the money you actually take home. This is the real number that hits your bank account. Net income is the money you use for real life, for rent, food, transportation, bills, savings, and everything else. This is the money that determines your lifestyle, not your gross income. Many people make the mistake of planning their finances based on gross income. That leads to overspending, missed savings goals, and constant financial stress. Understanding the difference between gross and net income is the foundation of smart money management. Once you understand how money flows, you're ready to take control of it. U.S. Taxes Simplified Beginner Guide. For many people, taxes feel confusing, stressful, or even scary. You hear words like IRS, forms, and deadlines, and suddenly it feels overwhelming. You're not alone. This is how most people feel. But here's the truth. Taxes actually follow clear rules. They're not random. They're not designed to trick you. They work according to systems that repeat every year. Once you understand the basics, taxes become predictable, not mysterious. You can estimate them. You can plan for them, and you can stop being surprised when money is taken out. In this section, we're going to simplify U.S. taxes step by step. No legal language, no complicated formulas, just the parts you actually need to understand how taxes affect your money. When you understand how taxes work, fear turns into clarity, and clarity gives you control. By the end of this, taxes won't feel scary anymore. They'll just feel like another system you know how to handle. Why do we pay taxes? Let's start with the most basic question. Why do we even pay taxes? Taxes are how a country pays for the services that keep society running. Things most of us rely on every single day, often without thinking about it. For example, taxes help fund roads and infrastructure so people and goods can move safely. They support public schools, giving education access to millions of students. Taxes also fund healthcare programs, national defense, and emergency and government services like police, firefighters, and disaster response. Imagine if everyone had to pay separately for roads, schools, or emergency help. It would be expensive, inefficient, and unfair. Instead, everyone contributes a portion of their income, and those funds are pooled together to support the entire country. In the United States, taxes are collected at three main levels. First, there's the federal level, which pays for nationwide programs like defense, Social Security, and federal agencies. Second, there's the state level, which helps fund state schools, highways, and local programs. And third, there's the local level, which supports things like city services, local police, fire departments, and community infrastructure. This is why taxes can feel layered. You're contributing to different levels of government, each with its own responsibilities. Understanding why taxes exist doesn't mean you have to like paying them, but it helps you see where your money is going and why taxes are a required part of the system. The four main types of taxes. Overview. When people hear the word taxes, it sounds complicated. But for beginners, there are really just four main types of taxes you need to understand. You don't need to memorize everything. Just know what they are and how they affect you. Once you understand these four, you understand most of the U.S. tax system. Everything else is just a variation of these basics. First is federal income tax. This is the tax the federal government takes from your income to fund things like national defense, infrastructure, and public services. This tax comes directly out of your paycheck. Second is state income tax. Most states also take a portion of your income to fund state-level services like roads, schools, and public safety. Some states have it, some don't. Third are payroll taxes. These pay for programs like Social Security and Medicare. You usually don't see this money because it's automatically deducted before your paycheck reaches you. Fourth is sales tax. This is the tax you pay when you buy things at the store, online, or at checkout. It's added to the price after you decide to buy. Once you understand these four types of taxes, the system starts to make sense. Now let's break them down one by one. Key tax concept: taxable income. One of the most important tax concepts to understand is this: you are not taxed on everything you earn. This surprises a lot of people. In the U.S. tax system, what actually gets taxed is called taxable income. Here's the simple formula. Taxable income equals your income minus deductions. Deductions reduce how much of your income is exposed to taxes. The lower your taxable income, the less tax you owe. This is one of the biggest levers you have in the tax system. Some of the most common deductions include the standard deduction, retirement contributions, health savings accounts, and student loan interest. You don't need to use all of them, just understand how they work. These deductions can save you hundreds or even thousands of dollars over time. Not by doing anything risky, but by using the rules that already exist. Understanding taxable income helps you keep more of what you earn. And once you know this concept, taxes start to make a lot more sense. Personal finance basics: what to do with the money you keep. Now that we understand how taxes work, the next question is simple. What do you do with the money you actually keep? This is where personal finance begins. Personal finance is not about being rich. It's about control, stability, and peace of mind. It's about knowing where your money is going and making sure it's working for you, not against you. You don't need a high income to manage money well. People at every income level struggle with money, and people at every income level can build stability. The difference is not income, it's systems. Good money management comes from habits and clarity. Simple rules, repeatable systems, clear decisions made ahead of time. That's how stress disappears. In this section, we're going to break down the four foundations of personal finance, the rules that everything else is built on. Once you understand these foundations, managing money stops feeling overwhelming and starts feeling possible. Foundation 1. Spend less than you earn. This may sound obvious, but very few people actually do it. Many people increase their spending as soon as their income goes up. They upgrade their lifestyle, bigger rent, a nicer car, more subscriptions, fancy gadgets. This is called lifestyle inflation. The problem? Income may go up, but savings stay the same, or even disappear. You're not getting ahead financially, you're just keeping up with your expenses. Spending less than you earn doesn't mean living poorly. It means creating margin, space in your budget to breathe and plan ahead. That margin is what allows you to save, invest, and handle unexpected expenses without stress. If you consistently spend less than you earn, you're already ahead of most people because you're building a foundation for financial freedom. It's simple, but incredibly powerful. Earn more, spend wisely, and keep the difference working for you. Foundation 2. Build an emergency fund. Life doesn't care about your budget. Unexpected things happen, often when you least expect them. Medical bills, car repairs, job loss, family emergencies. Without savings, these situations quickly turn into debt, stress, and financial setbacks. That's why an emergency fund is essential. An emergency fund is money set aside for one purpose only: to protect you when life goes wrong. If you're just starting out, the goal is simple. Begin with 1 month of expenses. Once that feels comfortable, grow it to 3 months. And over time, aim for 6 months of essential living expenses. This money is not for investing, it's not for vacations, and it's definitely not for shopping. Think of it as insurance for your financial life. You hope you never need it, but when you do, it can save you. With an emergency fund, a crisis doesn't ruin your finances. It becomes a manageable inconvenience, and that peace of mind is priceless.
Foundation 3. Avoid bad debt. Not all debt is the same. Some debt can help you move forward. Other debt slowly holds you back, often without you noticing. This is what we call bad debt. Bad debt usually comes from things like credit cards, high-interest personal loans, and buy now, pay later plans. These are easy to use, but very expensive over time. The problem isn't just the spending, it's the interest. High-interest debt grows fast. Even when you make your monthly payments, most of your money goes toward interest, not the balance. It can feel like you're doing everything right, but the debt barely shrinks. That's how bad debt quietly drains your income and delays your financial progress. Now, not all debt is equal. Some debt can be more manageable, like student loans if the payments fit your income, or a mortgage that's affordable and planned for. These don't usually carry the same crushing interest rates. The key idea is simple. High-interest debt destroys wealth silently. The longer it stays, the more control it takes from you. But the faster you reduce it, the faster you free up your income, lower your stress, and regain control of your financial future. Avoid bad debt, and your money will start working for you, not against you. Foundation 4. Save before you spend. Most people try to save whatever money is left at the end of the month. And the problem is, there's usually nothing left. Expenses expand to fill whatever income we have. Bills, subscriptions, small daily spending. It all adds up. Smart money management flips this system completely. Save first, spend second. When you get paid, your savings should happen automatically before you touch the money. That way, saving isn't a choice you have to make. It's built into your system. This removes emotion from the process. It removes discipline from the process. You don't need motivation. You don't need willpower. Automation does the work for you. When saving happens automatically, it becomes a habit instead of a decision. And habits are powerful because they happen consistently. Even small amounts matter. Saving a little every paycheck is far more effective than saving a lot, only when you feel ready. Over time, consistency builds security. Security builds confidence. And confidence gives you control over your money. Save first. Spend what's left. And let your system work for you. Why these foundations work? These 4 foundations work because they focus on behavior, not math. You don't need complex formulas. You don't need perfect timing. You don't need to predict the market or chase shortcuts. What you need are simple, repeatable systems. When you spend less than you earn, you create margin. Margin gives your money room to breathe. It turns every paycheck from survival into progress. Emergency funds create safety. They protect you from life's surprises, car repairs, medical bills, job changes, so one unexpected expense doesn't turn into a financial crisis. Avoiding bad debt protects your future. High-interest debt steals from tomorrow to pay for today. When you avoid it, you keep more of your income working for you instead of against you. Saving first builds consistency. It turns saving into a habit, not a struggle. Small automatic actions repeated over time create real results. Each foundation is powerful on its own, but together they create something stronger: financial stability. And this works even on an average income because success isn't about how much you make. It's about what you do consistently with what you have. Build the foundations, and everything else becomes easier. If this helped you, like the video, subscribe for more beginner-friendly finance guides, and I'll see you in the next one.